Yo.
What's good?
Semi Radio.
We are
in
back
it, bro.
for another episode.
98, bro.
98, bro. 98.
28. Too loud? We came in hot, bro. We're excited, bro.
Mics are hot, bro. It's because we have... That's my stage voice.
We're like projecting our voices.
Hey, it's my stage voice. That's how I talk on the mic now, bro.
Yo, we got a special guest in the build.
The reason why we are talking so loud.
I've always wanted to do that. I want to do the credits, bro.
Hey,
we never.
You guys might know him from.
You might have seen him on Orange is the New Black.
Boom.
Blacklist.
Boom.
What's that? What's that FX one?
Dude, he was on the MIA radio.
He was on that fire ass MIA radio
China
commercial.
promo.
China promo.
I'm a little mad it's not on his IMDb.
Yeah,
Okay.
I wanted to. Oh, I mean,
Go ahead.
Yeah,
scrolled all the way
I'm
down.
sorry. First time, long time listener. I'm a big fan of the MIA radio commercial. I just feel like I hope you get another big gig just like that one,
Thank
bro.
you, dude.
Because that's Oscar worthy shit right there,
Thank you,
bro.
brother.
And I'm gonna sign off. You can talk. I'll listen.
But you guys probably seen him on a couple of our promos. He's helped us out because he's a professional actor, thespian, play director. We gotta big you up,
Got
bro.
a lot of hats.
This is the first time we have what would you call it? An actor,
Thespian, dude?
a thespian,
Is that
dude.
what you want to call
Somebody-
me? That's fine.
No
First
disrespect.
person in the booth that has better hair than me. I mean, in the pod that has
Damn,
better hair
dude,
than me.
that's an honor.
I would have known. I would have got the keratin and everything. Came prepared, but
Yo, it's Robby Ramos in the building, bro.
Whoa.
Let's give it up. There we go.
Respect. Dude.
What's up, brother? How you been?
was good.
Bro,
Was
I'm
good.
nervous as shit, dude. Being here, dog. This shit is like.
Hey,
You
I've
didn't
been
think it
watching
was-
your shit, dude. I've been like, damn, dog.
You
When's
thought
he gonna ask me?
No, we had to
Nah,
wait for the right time.
We had to
98,
wait,
dude,
bro.
98,
We're
I
building
mean-
it up. We're
Yeah,
Miami
no.
legends for the last few
Now,
episodes.
you know,
I like
now,
it.
now that you're on a hit series on Stars or whatever, Showtime,
Stars, dude.
Start
We're
stone.
like, all right,
Get it right, bro.
Now we can get him on. He's on the caliber of our guest now.
I like it, dog.
But
Nah,
yo,
yeah.
what's up?
Was good, Robbie.
I don't know, dude.
Nah,
I'm
nah.
chilling.
Listen, we wanted to have you on because obviously you're a good friend of mine, but we wanted you to tell your story, bro. We wanted you people, especially from Miami, because
Look.
we got a lot of DJs, but a lot of creators, a lot
Yeah.
of artists that listen to our show, and I think you have a interesting, good story to tell how you got to where you are today.
Real
So-
quick before we
Go
get
ahead,
into
go ahead,
that,
go ahead.
I'm gonna tell the audience how I met you.
Yeah.
So when me and Zaya started hanging out, that was Zaya's peak, going out, wilding out days.
Oh yeah,
And then he would slow down a little bit, and then he would have his like.
rare.
But then he would be like, "Yo, boy from New York's coming down. It's gonna be a fucking weekend.
It was an event every time.
Every fucking time, bro. Every single time, he was like, "Yo, we going in. Like my boy Robby, my boy from New York is coming. My boy from New York is coming." And every time, this dude would like wow the fuck out. I remember, and then I remember there was one time like he posted it on the story, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I got ready. I already know."
Nah, it was, and we could probably start there, but it was like a thing where it was like, yo, he's coming from New York, he's on that grind, like he doesn't like party like that in New York, because I mean you were struggling at the time, but also it's like you're not in your home environment,
Right.
so when he would come, it was like, yo, we're doing it, and then when I would go over there, it's like, yo, we're gonna get into some trouble.
Yeah, I mean, I remember fucking going out in New York and just like wilding out, dude. Cause like you said, bro, I'll lay low. Like most of the time when I was in New York, dude, I was fucking just trying to grind it out. Like I was doing off Broadway. I was doing shit for free. So I barely had any bread.
Yeah.
And then Heck would come up and he had a couple dudes stay there one time, which I got some beef about. dog.
Yeah.
But whatever. No.
He let me his apartment, and
Oh my God.
he
Bro, I
swears to
show
this
up,
day.
guy. I show up. It's been like 2 weeks or some shit or a month. I show up and there's fucking hair on the sink, bro.
Brian.
There's
Oh my
dude.
God.
I was like, yo, who the fuck? Then there was hair on the bathtub. I'm like, yo, what the fuck?
That was a problem with your plumbing, bro. That wasn't.
Nah, yeah, that's true. My plumbing sucked. But nah, yeah, bro. Whenever I came to Miami, I would wild out a little bit, and Yeah, bro. I don't know if we want to get into stories
I mean,
about
we
that.
could-
Dude, the
I'll-
first time I ever DJ'd in New York,
That'd be 98 episode 98.5. We might have to do one just for the stories. dog.
Yeah, that's true. That's true,
bro, I literally, it was the first gig I ever got in New York. It was like a hookah lounge. It was actually a dope little spot. And I'm like, and it's the first time I'm visiting him too. So I'm like hyped to go to New York, and I'm DJing, and I'm gonna go with my boy, blah, 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 bro. Imagine, bro. I'm like super nervous because I'm DJing in New York, but I'm also excited. And this dude's like, I don't give a fuck. I'm wilding now.
Wow.
He did the fucking, you bring the bottle in the
Oh
coke
my
because you know in
God.
New York you got the coke,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
He got kicked out in like 30 minutes.
Wow, bro.
And then I'm like
Yeah.
tripping out because I'm trying to DJ and like be cool with the owner, and then they're telling me, yo, your boy, blah blah, blah. And I'm like, yo, I don't know what. And
I'm
bro,
heated outside. I'm like texting him.
Never,
and shit. I'm like,
never
yo.
DJ'd ever again. There.
Yeah, I did it.
I was texting him like, where the fuck you at, dog? They threw me out, dude. That's how you're gonna do me, dog? All right.
And you had the bottle right here.
and I still had the bottle, dog. And then we met some dude. You remember that? I think his name was
Bro.
Eric or some shit. There was like a gallery in front of the fucking.
And he
Little
just made a
place.
friend.
And
And
I just
then-
met this dude, and we're chilling, dude. And then listen, shit. So we're chilling. I'm just outside, waiting for Hector, but also just kind of pissed because I was hammered. And I'm just waiting for him. And this dude comes on. I act like I don't know Heck. Like I'm just like whatever. And I'm chilling with this new dude.
Like, he
And then this
replaced
guy
me,
pulls
bro.
out
Oh
his
my
little book
God.
bag and shit, like super heated, probably at me too. I'm like, yo, this is Eric, dog. This is my boy Heck, whatever. And then we just
My
start
ex-friend.
rolling with this dude, bro. And we legit just had a night out with this fucking guy, like some random dude we never saw again, bro.
That's some New York shit.
That
bro.
was
That is
some
some
New
New York.
York
That
shit,
shit happens
bro.
in
I
New York,
miss that.
bro. In New York, you meet people and then you're like, "Yo, why don't we just go over here?" And then you just end up going to like some fucking club or some bar or somebody's crib. Like,
Walking, subway,
oh,
taxis.
that shit happened to me so many fucking times when I'm out there and like, bro. One time I ended up in like this fucking like somebody's apartment in like a Miami-sized Brickell apartment, but in New York. So you already know that shit's like whoever lives there's a fucking trillionaire. Till like 8 a.m. This is a super random story. But we're at this dude's crib, and I was with Alex, my old roommate, and this is right when Alexa had come out. Y'all remember obviously Alexa, Amazon,
Oh,
whatever.
wow.
So it had just come out, and they were playing music, whatever. And I go over to Alexa, and I was like, "Yo, this is when Migos was like on the top." I'm like, "Alexa, play the best of Migos." Now playing, blah, blah, blah. So it starts playing, and then some people come through, like typical New York, like mad cocaine, fucking after hours. They came back from like an after hours. It's like 6 a.m. And they were like, "The fuck's playing all this rap shit, bro? Play some fucking Claptone or some fucking." So they're like grabbing the Alexa and they're like, play techno. And like they kept saying like, play house. But they didn't realize that they had to say like, Alexa, like. So it took them like an hour. Because I was like, yo, I want to listen to Migos. Fuck that. It took them like an hour for them to realize. They like Googled it, like, yo, how do we change the music, whatever. And I'm like, first of all, you could just like disconnect. I'm thinking like all the logical ways. Then they finally found out that they had to say, hey, Alexa, to change the music.
Didn't you always feel like when you would visit, like they were awesome, like, yo, this guy from Miami.
Yeah,
yo,
yeah,
this
yeah,
guy from
facts.
Miami.
I mean,
there's always that vibe.
Oh,
dude.
facts. But I'm the same way. It's the same way for New York cats here. Like, oh, this guy's from New York.
Yeah,
He's from New
but
York.
especially when I'll go visit this guy, he had all his thespian friends, and they're all like mad, eccentric, and eclectic and
Like,
shit.
oh, he uses
And I'm
real
like,
soap.
Bro, I'm like, bro, this guy, bro.
Yeah,
this
yeah,
guy,
yeah, yeah.
This
They're
guy
talking-
doesn't.
They're talking like they're
What-
trying to talk super deep and shit. I'm
What's
like,
that
yo,
brand? What's that brand of soap that has like the label and has like a million words on it? Or they make a lot of like organic shit. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Marvin's. What is it? Mayors. Like, oh, he doesn't use Mayors, but I know people use that shit for everything. Like,
But did you ever have that, like, when you first got there, people were, like, kind of looking at you sideways, like, yo, this guy's from Miami trying to, like, be an actor, bro? He probably just speaks Spanish and shit.
Oh no, for sure. But I think more in New York, what I ran into was like,
I think it's
oh,
with a E.
that you're Puerto Rican and shit.
They just put
Yeah,
you
yeah, yeah. You're just in a Puerto Rican, like, or you're Dominican, so it's one or the other. I never really got the Miami thing. I mean, people obviously when you say you're from Miami, they're like, oh, like, dude, chill the fuck out. You know what I mean? But I did always. That's kind of why I didn't really go out in New York. Is like the people I was meeting, the theater people. Like I've never really connected with that, with those groups.
Yeah.
But you went over there to do theater. initially.
I did, but I wasn't there to make friends. So it's the same thing. Like in when I started theater at Miami-Dade, I was like, dude, I don't feel like I fit in with these people because I was always with like baseball dudes in high school and all this crap. And so when I met the theater people, I was like, what? Like I just didn't click.
You were
with
like,
them.
and you played baseball like all your life, and then you're like,
yeah,
I'm gonna be an actor.
exactly, until high school. And so then but it's not even a thing. It's just like I don't know, like then I've met people that I'm like, oh shit, like I connect with this dude even though he's an actor. And now in TV, I encounter that more. But in theater, especially in New York, it's hard to come
It's
by
dorkier.
like, people that.
They're just dorks.
Dude, I mean,
Look, I did sound on light. I did sound on light like in high school, and like I did a lot of plays, and I used to have, I mean, that was, but I also grew up in Nicaragua, so like our dorks were different. It's like a different kind of dorks. But I'm used to like the art dorks, which I mean, I'm an art dork too, so like I completely understand like from the jock side to like like I don't know. To me, theater has always been dorky, like, you know.
But it's not even art dorks though, because like for instance, the kids that did theater in high school, to me, seem different than the ones that started after high school because there's just something to it. Like they, even when it comes to actual talent, like they have bad habits and things because they're used to playing like improv games.
Got it.
That happened to me when I started. I was like, dude. I started taking a class with Amparo in South Beach, and she was more like method, like, you know, getting into like what the monologue is, your feelings and shit. And then I go to Miami-Dade, and they're playing improv. I'm like, bro, what the fuck am I doing here? Like, I'm not here to play improv.
Is improv like
Frowned upon?
Frowned upon, yeah.
It's no. Improv is dope, but there's like these games that like theater teachers in high school and then in college do, which is like to break the ice, right? So like right now, it's like if we're all feeling like we don't know each other, like we'll play a game, and it's an improv game, and like I'm gonna buzz you in, and
yeah.
That's different than like actual improv, which is that is like that's a real thing, like that's SNL type of thing.
Yeah,
the Groundlings in LA. That's UCB in New York. Like that's a different like world,
right?
But the improv games, so we all become friends and like feel better around each other. That shit, I was like, dude, I can't do this, bro. And if I hadn't met that lady, my original in Miami Beach, I probably would have been like, nah, this ain't for me.
Yeah,
that's what I was gonna ask you. Like, how? Because in Miami, and we've talked to like comedians and stuff, and like I feel like comedy and acting in Miami is very like there's not
niche.
A lot of
it's like a very small,
especially the community and the scene. It's like a weird thing to be into here.
Yeah, I don't get why people stay here, dude. Like that's just me. I don't get why comedians or actors stay here.
That's why
like
you decided to move.
You have
right
to.
away.
Yeah.
You have to.
You feel you can't build, or there's no avenues, or there's no lanes to like really build from Miami to launch out. So like
maybe starting now because of the pandemic and all this, it might change a little bit. But even still, at some point, you got to move, man. Like I don't know. I mean, name me a comedian that is like known nationally that's just based out of Miami.
Yeah, I mean, I don't.
On that
name me an actor.
Yeah.
Who's known nationally.
Robby Ramos.
No, not yet, dog. Chill the fuck out. But
Andy Garcia.
But even then, I wasn't based. No. I'm not saying from here. I'm
Yeah.
saying based here, right?
Yeah,
So I'm from here, but I'm not based here.
His bio's not gonna say that.
Yeah.
Based in New York or
Yeah, I've seen
wherever
yeah,
you
I've seen
end
a
up
few.
going.
Yeah, I've seen a few like friends of friends, but same thing. They're based in LA. They're based in New York. They're based in other cities, but they're originally from here.
Yeah,
I've seen
there's
that.
a lot of talent from here. Like a lot.
The guys that decided to leave.
But those are the people that decided to leave.
Miami's just not a hub for it.
Yeah.
There's
No, I mean, I completely understand. It's not a, and that's I think a lot of people get it kind of like Miami's, more music, like
not even that.
well, not even, yeah.
I would say Miami's just more like
there is
a fuck up. Like that's where you go to fuck around.
Nah, Miami's more
fuck
like
around spot.
You go
To
maybe
let
for like
go?
a project.
Yeah.
But, like it's not centered here.
Right.
Yeah,
People will come record their album and then
Right.
write out. Or
yeah, because
like
even
Bad
for
Boys 3.
even for Basel, like 80% of the events are based out of talent companies from LA and New York.
Yeah.
you know?
Nothing is homegrown here. Barely. Do you any reason why?
Yeah, I mean, I think, look, like Atlanta now where I'm shooting Heels, the TV show on Stars is like they start building actual studios there.
Right.
I think they tried to do that with Miami, and I don't know if it was like
I heard
a
something
government
like,
thing
yeah,
or what, but
it
they
was like
didn't
the
let it.
taxes and the fund and the government like restrictions or some shit. People
Right.
are like, yo, it's not worth building an infrastructure here if we're not gonna be able to like maximize our money.
Right.
So let's just go out of here.
Right. And I think they even shot a show. There was a show called Bloodline, I think, in the
Mhm.
Keys.
Yeah.
And they had to stop shooting there because
Or-
the
What was the
John
other one?
Leguizamo. That's just fire.
the what?
Bloodline. It has like John Leguizamo and shit.
Yeah.
Even Burn Notice. You guys remember that?
Burn Notice used to be out
Burn
here.
Notice was
they
here,
had
and
to
it was
move
the
to
same
LA.
shit. Yeah, because it was the same shit. They had a lot of because I used to watch it. I watched it. I started watching it when it was already on, and then like the last season, I think they filmed it in LA. It wasn't even filmed here. And I remember because I was following the show, and I remember like they would post shit like, hey, you know, like we're trying to make it work. Like they were having issues, and it was public that because they used to shoot in the Grove, they would shoot in random locations, but they posted, hey, you know, like we're trying to figure it out, whatever. So like from what I've seen as somebody who kind of follows but it's not in it, like it seems like there's not like a springboard, you know, like people like I said, people come for shit, but it's not like nothing's based out of here.
And it's not like, I mean, you could say more to this, but it's not like DJing where like if you could do it here, you could do it anywhere. That's New York, right? Like this shit is like you just start here and then you make your way to wherever you're going. But it's not like a breeding ground.
No.
Breeding grounds.
No, it's not. Yeah, at all. I mean, maybe it'll change. You know, like I said, Atlanta has changed, man.
Yeah.
Like there's people that are instead of going to New York or LA, they're going to Atlanta. There's agents like
Is
legit
that
agents.
because of the Tyler Perry thing?
Yeah,
I think
Tyler
that's a
Perry
big-
I was gonna
started
ask that
it,
'cause
right?
reason,
So, you know, but I think they're also helping him, and
Mhm.
you know, there's like government things that need to happen
Mhm.
for studios to want to bring things.
Yeah,
to,
he probably
to
was.
Detroit.
He probably was like a big deal because I mean,
He had been there for over 10 years, but
Yeah.
recently the grand opening was like a year ago.
He launched that,
Oh, he's huge, man.
But
That's
he,
what we're
he
shooting.
created like millions of jobs.
right?
Yeah,
It's literally a studio lot, right?
It's
Bro,
bro,
it's
it's
huge. He has,
it's
like,
like its own
16.
estate. Like it's insane.
Yeah.
He has like his 16 sound stages, and they're massive, dude.
Yeah.
Like one of our directors on our show is named Pete Siegel. He's the dude who he directed Tommy Boy and all these things. He's like, this is the
Right.
biggest lot I've ever worked in.
Wow.
And we have like so the show is about wrestling heels, and we have like a ring and like you know, like it's a legit spot. I'll show you the
Yeah.
pictures after, but it's massive, dude. Like a massive space. Yeah, it's
And
Tyler
that's-
Perry.
Enter
Yeah,
enter
that shit,
the.
wow.
And that's all
You should
Yeah.
screen
production
grab
company.
Yeah.
everything.
And then so we're shooting half of our scenes there. The scenes that take place in the wrestling arena
Screen
are shot
record,
at Tyler
screen
Perry.
Screen
And then
record.
we have
You want to do that?
we have other scenes that are shot at this place called Rail Bros, which used to be his assistant, dude. This guy
Mhm.
is Cuban. He's from Miami. He started working as Tyler Perry's assistant, and then he bought his old lot.
Wow.
So Tyler Perry's old lot was bought by his assistant, what was once his assistant.
That's when you know you're doing it. When your assistant
Yeah.
buys shit
Ed.
and comes up.
Get
Yeah.
to it, bro.
And
See, bro?
Tyler gave him, you know, I mean,
Ed,
Tyler
there's some
hooked
hope, dog.
He's not an assistant though.
Oof.
him
Hasn't upgraded.
kidding.
Hasn't been.
I wanted to ask because I saw that you worked with a legend like Ruben. How is that any different from working maybe with just regular old actors?
You're talking about Ruben Rabasa?
Yeah. Sorry, I
Yeah.
didn't say that.
Nah, it's all good. Dude, Ruang is like the sweetest dude I've ever met in my life. And he's also super talented, man. Like when we did Amparo with him,
Mhm.
and this dude played my grandfather, and if you guys you didn't go
I
to-
didn't make it.
you didn't make it, dog?
Nah, 'cause
Damn, that's what's up.
The show's
Because well, I didn't make it because even back then I was broke. Even back then I was. Hey, I wanted to go when it was free 99, but then that shit turned into
It blew up.
That shit was like you gotta fucking give a kidney, like yo, you have to give your kidney to Fidel. If you don't give your fucking kidney to Fidel, you're not getting in.
Chill with that Fidel shit. Though.
Oh
But look,
my
but so what we're
God.
saying is this, dude. So Ruang, he was playing my grandfather, and we had this whole scene where he would come up to my group because Amparo was in groups, and it was these groups of like 14, 15, 20. And he came up to my group, dude, and he would steal the scene, bro. like he would just start improving, and then my group is like, I want to go with that dude. I don't want to stay with fucking this dude. And then I would have to up my game and like make them feel like, no, I want to stay with my character. His name was Jorge, instead of going with this dude, because he was so electric, man. He's like
he's a character.
Have you seen him? Have you seen him on that I Think You Should Leave show?
Oh yeah.
Hilarious, dog. I watched.
Is that a character, or is he like that 24/7?
No, that's a character. But Rueng is a funny dude, man. He's also really shy though, so he's kind of has those two, and he's deep, man. That's something that I think I'm working with the director of Amparo and the writer of Amparo to do, just to make this dude as famous as we can. So we're like doing like a 1-man show. We have this plan for a TV show with him and somebody else. I don't know if they want me to name him yet, but so we're thinking about all these things, because he's got this side of him that, you know, people see in those shows, and he's funny, and he was in this other show called Corte Tropical back in the 90s that people know him from. But now it's like we want to show them like, yo, this dude also has like a really big heart.
Yeah. So you're trying to produce him basically.
Yeah, we're trying to exactly.
Nice.
So
I actually want to ask you about I want to ask you about this Amparo thing, because this kind of like you did it while you moved from New York to do this. Yeah,
so it was wild, man. They went up to New York to audition New York actors, and at first we didn't know what it was gonna be. It was like a pilot run of a theater show. We were like, what the hell is this about? That doesn't make sense. Usually pilots are TV, and so I'm like, whatever. It was honestly, I was like, I don't even know if I want to do it, because it was gonna bring me down to Miami, and it was gonna take me away from New York for a little bit.
Like, fuck Miami.
Yeah.
You were on the Nelson tip. I was born and raised here, but fuck Miami, and now I'm from New York.
Nah, not even, dude. It was just I was trying to make a name for myself out there. So when they went up there and they auditioned, they wanted me for a part. They didn't tell me what part. They're just like, come down, trust us, blah blah blah. So I was like, I don't know if I want to do it. It was only gonna be
there before
2 weeks, huh?
Yeah.
Charlemagne, dog. You guys didn't tell me this shit. All right, but nah. So I ended up doing it, and we did the pilot run in Miami at Ball and Chain, and then we did another pilot in New York at a place called Bill's Townhouse on 54th Street. And then it was like a year later, they were like, "Oh, we want to do it now for real," and that's when we did it at the Villa 221.
Right.
And it ended up being like 6 months.
If you want to,
no, man, like it
was like a year and a half. Right?
Yeah, it was like
it got extended a lot, right? Like 2 or 3 times.
And that's when the price went up. It was from
it was
from like 1 penny to $10 to like your firstborn. But if you want to, well, first of all, if you want to explain the whole concept of the show to people, because I know we're talking about it, and like, because we know, but people that are not from Miami, like, because I thought it was like my sister went with her husband like on some date, like adult, you know, like we don't do anything. That was like their experience. So if you want to explain to people like the whole, oh my God, I know that guy.
Damn, dude.
Front row, dude.
Front fucking row.
Shit. Putting me up, bro.
We're screen recording, right? All right, we'll add this in.
Yeah, so the show is basically it's about Havana Club, and it's how that rum was stolen from the original family that made it,
right?
The Arrechavalas. And what the show did was you basically showed up to the show. There was an hour of drinks before the show, already included with the price on the ticket, which was $1,000, like you're saying. And then they would do an hour, so people would get freaking hammered, bro. Because imagine,
bro, they just gave their first son to
but watch this shit. In the beginning, it was like drink as much as you can before the show.
Oh yeah. In the beginning, it was real wild, and then they kind of tempered that down a little bit so people wouldn't show up so shit faced. But then basically these characters came down and they would take you through the story, and what would happen is you would basically journey through this family's tragedy of getting their life business taken away, and then some people would end up in a jail, some people would end up in an airport getting stripped, and so there was
what's the word? I'm sorry for like theater, like it's in motion, and when you're part of it,
immersive theater. Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, exactly. And there was a lot of people in Miami who had never, they're not theater people, and they just kind of went and really had a like a crazy experience, man. There was
Yeah, the
people.
whole concept is super dope, you know. And then because it's like I said, my sister went and she told me it was like a, you know, it's something different and something cool, and like, you know, you're in it. The fact that you're in it, you're not sitting down, like you're in it, you know, like.
Yeah.
She told me
The actors are talking to you.
Yeah.
I mean, you're really going through this journey. And then there was, I mean, imagine doing that play in Miami about the Cuban Revolution in 1959, 1960, 61. There was older people that had really experienced it, dude, and they would have like these flashbacks in the middle of the
saw
the
someone
play.
like get escorted out when I went. Like she was
Bro.
like tripping out.
No
Like,
way.
Yeah.
No facts.
She was screaming and like they had to get her out of there.
Yeah, there was one time this older guy, you know, there's the jail part,
Yeah.
and what it is el paredón, right, where these like Cuban revolutionaries are like about to kill this guy, right? Yeah. And this dude had a flashback, and he straight up like grabbed the gun from this girl, but he did it in a way which was like
Tactical.
yeah, like you know this dude knows what he's doing.
Tactical.
He straight up he took the gun and he pointed it at her. And when he did that, I saw it was right next to me, dude. I get goosebumps because I saw him like realize like, oh my God, what am I doing? You know, like I'm in a play, and then he was like, I'm sorry, like we didn't even throw him out.
Yeah.
Usually if you touch the actors, you get thrown out. He did that, and we didn't throw him out. We just kind of like were like, oh, and we were just patting him down, dude. It was
You went with
wild.
it. You just
That's
like
insane.
yeah, because only like a section saw that, right? The scene kept going, and then the actors. By this time, we had done it over like 100 times.
Yeah.
So we were just like we were doing it no matter what was happening around us.
Wow.
And so when that happened, dude, it was the wildest thing. And like
That's
that,
crazy. That's really crazy. Like,
bro, we had things like that all the time,
I
dude.
think we hung out and you told us a story of someone called the cops about a gun or something like that.
oh, I remember
Right?
hearing that. Yeah.
Yeah. So there was a part in the play where one of the Cuban revolutionaries would escort people down this staircase outside of the venue, and somebody who was across the street sees like this person coming down with a gun. You can't tell it's fake gun.
Yeah.
Machine gun. and
Yeah.
shit.
He's coming down, and all these people
They're
are
at
like
checkers.
following.
They're at
behind.
checkers. Like,
Yeah, they're like,
smacked. eating on top of the car. Like,
yo, my dude,
bro,
my dude.
bro, look.
Yo, they were like,
Give us a reward.
Yo, they're at the checkers. Like, yo, they're about to cash in. And they saw the dude.
they were
Doing a good
heroes,
deed.
dude. They were fucking
Yo, they were heroes.
So they called the cops. The cops came. They stopped the show. So in the middle of like the show that people are supposed to be really held down and all this shit, the cops come in SWAT full gear.
No
They-
way.
They bust into the venue, and all the audience
think
is
it's
like,
real.
What the fuck's
People
going
think,
on?
damn,
Yeah,
they're
yeah,
really,
yeah,
they're
Yeah.
really doing this shit.
bro. And it was wild, dude. Like that. I mean, things like that happened all the time.
That's
dude.
insane,
awesome.
bro.
That's what makes
I
it
forgot
dope.
about that.
Yo, like imagine the crowd like thinking that this part of it. Like,
Yeah, no, they
they're
had
like,
no
is
idea.
this like
dude.
part of it? I don't know. Do I act surprised? Do I put my hands up? Do I record?
Yeah, they had no idea, bro.
That was backed by Bacardi, right?
Yeah,
So we
Bacardi,
got
because
that.
Bacardi took
You got that
Bac-
check.
what?
You got that check, huh?
Corporate-
what are you talking about,
You got
man?
that. What's up? Can you what?
Huh?
That check?
Bro, we actually shot some promos that I think
Oh, that's
they owe us some checks on, but
Oh, the ghost.
Nah, but-
yeah.
Because you
No,
said,
but honestly, the actual production it cost so much to make
Yeah.
it. There were so many actors. There was so much drinks. Like
yeah.
there was a party after the show, so it was like it cost so much to make it, and that's why the prices kept going
No,
up.
I mean, like I'm joking about it, but like overall, I think it was what was it in the end, like 200, one something.
No, it got pretty wild, but
Yeah,
you did New Year's,
Yeah.
right?
no, that
No,
was
it was
that
supposed
was we wanted to, bro. But
That would have been like 1,000.
Yeah, fact.
yeah.
Imagine.
Like
New Year's.
private Grutman, only for Grutman, like
But you guys did private shows, right? For like celebrities. I think you said you told me one time you were gonna do it for Pitt and Gloria Stefan.
we were gonna do it for them, and then I think Pitt wasn't able to go. Gloria Stefan went, but she went on a day when other people were there, and that was wild because she was in my group, and bro, there's like a genuine star right
Yeah,
next
facts,
to you, dude,
facts,
and
legend.
and everyone in the group is not listening to the show. They want
They wanna
to look
try,
at
yeah,
Gloria
of course.
and her dude Emilio, and Emilio was real cool, man. Gloria too, but but they were at a point they were like, guys, like let us enjoy the show.
Yeah.
But everyone was seeing the show through their eyes, though, right? So like as they're watching the show, everyone's looking at them like
for
see
their
how
reaction.
yeah. And some of the actors, start acting for them, and then that kind of thing
it's
happens.
hilarious.
No shade, whoever is watching from Amparo, but that's
there you
happening.
know.
Yeah,
Dog.
Pirulín and
Yeah.
Fulano, Sultano.
Fulano de tal and shit, and,
They were
But-
like, oh my god.
Yeah. Yeah.
Over like
Yeah.
Start
overly
doing
like,
accents and shit.
Yeah.
They do different accents.
They
Like,
just do
show
it.
their range.
Going wild, dude. But yeah, that was dope, man.
Did you
That
get
was-
tired of it after week 3 or what?
No, yeah, it was the
'Cause
most
you're
tiring
doing the
thing
most
I've ever done.
repetitive every week, right? It was 3 times a week.
It was, man, but like here's the thing, like when I would see people how they would react to the show, I was like, oh no, it's worth it. Because there was genuine, like after the show, people were crying. There was a certain part of the show that it felt like you were on a boat, like rocking to the States, and people would straight up you'd hear people screaming, crying.
I think my
and
my
everyone's
dad went. He
together,
was like
dude.
tripping balls. I think I saw him. He was like,
It was a religious. It felt like
the
yeah.
circle at the end. My dad was like, I was like, what? I was like, do you know what's going on?
He's vibing.
You're not from Cuba, dude.
Damn. That's like when the edible hit. You just
Bro, legit. And people were like crying legit in the back and like holding their family and shit.
Yeah.
Like, what? I was like, all right.
Yeah, no, it got wild. So that kind of gave me the want to keep doing it.
But were
But
you
for
worried?
sure, it was tiring, bro. It
Or
was-
were you worried about like, oh, all my homies in New York are fucking getting after doing all this shit, network shit, plays, and all this, and I'm over here.
Yeah, I was, man. And so that's why halfway through that, I start planning like, how am I gonna start making money in TV? How am I gonna start making money in TV? That was it. I was like, dude, I'm done doing theater and for nothing. I always want to do theater for the rest of my life, but I need to be making money somehow with this talent that I have. Like I can't,
But how do you decide, like, all right, I want to do this because I need the check and it's a good, secure job versus, yo, but this is like dope. And like, as an actor, I can perform really well and show like my talent, but I'm going to get paid like a talk.
Well, that's why you got to make the money in TV and then on your off time be able to do theater. Although I will say the show that I'm doing now, I got lucky, right? Because I feel like I can still be creative and all of that through that show. And it's a huge challenge for me because it's like working with cameras, there's lights, it's a different vibe. But with theater, like, I always want to go back to it, even if I'm making no bread,
Yeah.
But yeah, at some point during Amparo, I was like, nah, I'm done. And so I started strategizing, dude. The same thing I had done when I finished high school, and I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I started doing it again with Amparo, which was like 8 years later. And that's writing down like what I want to do. How am I gonna do it? Boom. Who do I know? What other contacts I've made?
You're very, I love when you post those like your old tweets because you're like very visualization and determination. Where'd you get that? Like, yo, I'm gonna write this down and then it's gonna come into fruition. Like manifestation. There we go.
Somewhere after high school, I was so
'Cause
bummed
you were an
out.
athlete.
Dude, yeah.
So how the fuck?
I don't know, man. I started writing down things right after high school. That's when I started writing. And I found these old notebooks that a lot of it is very like naive and like idealistic and all this stuff. But then there's actual things that I wrote down that have come true. And I even forget that I wrote them down. I wrote some down like series regular by 29. And I was looking through my notebooks and it's there, dog.
That's the crazy shit. When you
Fine.
find it and you forgot you wrote it.
Bro, I forgot I wrote it. I'm like, and I booked Heels a week before my 30th birthday. So that's like one of those things where it's like, what the fuck? I don't know how to explain it, but it works.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But part of it is like, yeah, it's the writing it down, but then I did the actions. Like I moved over there. I met people. I did every play I could do. And then I wrote my own play, which was for me the breakthrough, right? Like I could connect the Heels gig all the way down to when I wrote that play off of 66. like a direct connection. I met this person from writing Alpha, then I met that person, then I met this person, then I met that person, and now I'm here. You know, it was like
Right.
literally that direct. So making my own work was where it really started to like, where things really started to open up for me.
Yeah, I'm starting to realize that it's like you write things down, but then also you do things with obviously a plan, but you just keep doing them in your own way, and then it just leads to things, and then that become your thing, but you weren't like necessarily intentionally trying to do that thing, but it happened because you were just on the road. Keep going, and then it like spurts out into this thing, and then you're on a fucking star show. Series regular.
It's crazy, dude. Like I remember, so I had to drive to LA when I booked the gig to move all my stuff down to Miami because I didn't want to be paying for that apartment I had out there, and I was down here for the pandemic. And I remember the drive over there, I was just like going through like, how the fuck did I get here, dude? Because what happens also when you get a little bit of success is all of a sudden it's like, I don't deserve it. So now I'm like, I'm driving LA, I'm like, bro, I haven't worked hard enough for this. Like, I'm not 40. I know friends that are 40, 50, and they still, I mean, Ruben Rabasa, although he's killing it, is like, he's 82, 83, still searching for the next gig. So I start thinking, oh, I don't deserve it. Like, you know, I haven't worked hard enough, you know? And then I start going through it. I'm like, no, I have, dude. I went through this. I did this. And I start retracing my steps, and I realized, bro, that for real, it did, like, I manifested it, dude. And I manifested it the way you said, which was like, take this step, then you take the other one. And then somebody comes out and says something else, and you're like, oh, follow that. And you just follow shit, your intuition, you know? And that's how it happened for me, dude. And then also mentors. For me, like, that shit was huge. I had a mentor who was like, you got to write. Aminta de Lara, she's a Venezuelan director, and she was like, you got to write. You know, and so I wrote my play, and she helped me. And then after that, I met JD, who's a producer.
Jermaine Dupri?
Huh? Jermaine Dupri. Yeah, I met Jermaine Dupri, and he hooked me up. Nah, but I met this dude named JD, and he was a Cuban producer in LA, and he was like, who the fuck wrote this play, Alpha 66? It's about Cuba, and it's about this group, and so I don't know, man. It's like, it's so weird, bro, how shit happens. I recently just had a podcast with JD, and he was like, dude, the title of your play, Alpha 66, is the reason I reached out to you. So I'm like, who the fuck wrote this play about this group? And I remember like debating, do I put Alpha 66 because it's a little bit of a heat up, dude. Like, there's a lot of heat up with that group. And I was like, yeah, no, fuck it. I feel it in my heart. Like, that shit needs to be called Alpha 66. And I wrote it with that title, and that was the calling card, you know?
Oh, I mean, I think a lot, like you said, even like us, me with this podcast, I'm like, you think like, yo, it's dope, but like, I don't know, why am I doing this, blah, blah, blah. And then someone hits you up about it, and you're like, oh shit, or like, yo, how do you do this? Or like people say that they listen, or I look at the numbers and I'm like, what? Like,
Yeah.
How is that even possible? So I just like, all right, let's just keep going and see what happens and see what it turns into.
And you never know, dude. That's like, Alpha 66 is not on Broadway, right? It didn't even go off Broadway. It just did like a couple workshop productions, but it's who I met because I wrote that thing. So like, if you guys, like, let's say you're doing this podcast and you're like, man, the first weekend you're like, oh, the numbers, and it's embarrassing, and people, and you stop doing it, dude. And it's like, no, you gotta stay the course of doing it. And who the fuck knows eventually what's gonna happen? Somebody sees it, wants to put money, like real bread, into the production of the shit, and you guys start. I mean, you don't know, dude. You know, and then you're also building skills as you do those things.
Yeah,
that's the best part about it.
Yeah, and I think that's what a lot of people don't realize, is that like when they kind of feel that way, you're growing, and you're gonna keep growing. So just keep doing it. Like, a lot of people think that, oh, I'm not learning, or I'm not going anywhere, or man, whatever. But part of the process is, learning is part of the process, you know?
You never like had a one moment of like, especially in New York, like, yo, what the fuck? Like, why? I'm going home, bro.
No, I didn't, man. And you know, like Janessa, my wife, dude, I remember distinctly, like we were about like 22, 23, and I told her like I'm willing to sleep in a park for this shit.
Yeah.
Like, and I meant it. I was not gonna go back to Miami. This is what I was gonna do, no matter what. I was willing to live in a park, do whatever the fuck I had to do, and that scared her, dude. Because I mean, imagine you're 23. She wants to have kids. She wants to do it. She's like, a fucking park. This guy's fucking out of his mind, dude. But I really meant that, dude, from the bottom of my fucking heart. I wasn't gonna, you know.
You and the pigeon lady from.
Yeah, just me and her, dog, chilling.
But that probably was also, she was like, oh, he's like for real. This
Maybe,
isn't
bro.
like a fucking phase of.
Oh
like,
yeah, that definitely proved to her, like, yo, if she's gonna stay with me, like, she's gonna have to.
Because New York was a grind, like,
dude, it was, yeah.
You just moved there, you had like no money.
No money, dude. No contacts. Like, not one single soul. I didn't know anybody. And
how long did it take till you got your first anything,
bro?
Because when you get there, you probably have like you're
So
excited,
what's the
high hopes.
Yeah, what's the like the process when you move? Where like you get there, like it's like in the movie, like the empty apartment with the boxes, and you're just like, all right, well,
City
like,
never
so,
seen.
It was a basement, bro. I had one little window at the top,
yeah,
depressed,
where I could see like a car that was parked there, and and it, you know,
that's how it is.
Yeah, dude.
Nice.
And I got there. Yeah, exactly. I got there.
That's a view. That's an
Yeah.
extra. That's an
He was
extra
literally-
$500.
He was
on the
literally
rent.
living in a furnace that they were like, oh, we can rent this out.
Yeah, no, that
Real talk,
All
dude.
right.
I've lived
You
in
were there, bro. You saw it. It's legit. I mean, it was probably like the size of this room, right?
That window's an extra $500 on rent.
yeah,
Get
the window.
the gold.
yeah,
Free AC.
exactly.
Hey, if
dude.
you don't want, it's $200, now they cover the window. You don't even see the tires.
That was the vibe, bro.
Where
but,
at? Where in New York? Like,
Astoria, Queens,
Nice.
which was
I
good.
used
So
to
I was
live
in a
there.
good area. Like,
yeah, it's not crazy out there. Not that crazy.
nah.
And
it
right
wasn't
next to the
that.
subway.
Yeah, right
Yeah,
next.
story's
Oh,
not
fire.
bad.
No,
Astoria's dope.
no, it was dope, dude. It was real cool. And when I got there, I had 1 year conservatory at Terry Schreiber. So I had that for a year. I knew I was gonna meet people there. I knew that, you know, that was gonna kind of set me off.
Mhm.
But halfway through that, I was like, dude, I'm learning all these things in this class, but I want to apply them. So I start looking for off Broadway plays for free, dude. Like free work while I'm in school. So I'm doing an
Smart.
actual play in New York and then also learning. And that affected a little bit the schooling. But dude, what am I doing the school for if I'm not actually applying it in real
on the
life?
job? Yeah, on the
Exactly.
job. Right.
So that was my first year there, dude. It was like doing the school and then doing these off Broadway plays.
And how do you get into the off Broadways? Do you just look them up? Is it like
Yeah, there's a couple.
what's the process?
Craigslist
Like,
or
yeah,
what
like
is it?
It's kind of like a Craigslist, but it's called like Actors Access and then Backstage. Those are the two
Back
websites.
yeah.
Backstage.com.
Triggered.
Kind of
And,
basically. It's
Triggered.
similar.
triggered.
I mean, back in the day when I lived in New York, like all the actors would like go to like the supermarket and get like those. It's like a newspaper, but for
Oh,
actors.
yeah, what's it called?
And
Mhm.
I forgot the name of it.
Yeah, I don't know the name of it either, but there was trades and things you
Yeah,
could look
shit
at.
like
but
that. Like,
that's
mostly
where
what
you
I
would
did
find
was
it.
like the online thing, and I found a bunch of stuff there, man. I found a bunch of plays, and I never stopped working on a play from like I think it was probably like January of 20 2012.
Yeah.
I didn't stop until I left. Just doing, but I mean, working for free most of the
Right.
time.
Yeah, yeah.
And then, like 4 years in, dude, I'm like, I gotta start looking at the business side. Because up to that point, I mean, I don't know if you remember, but I never gave a shit about money, dude.
Nah.
Yeah,
Your
right.
fridge was a representation of that.
Yeah.
Every time I would go visit, I'm like, bro, he had like one beer from like the year I visited last year.
Bud Light with like the old label.
Yeah, like literally from that one time that I'm like,
Yeah,
yo,
no, I never gave a shit about money,
grinding.
dude. And I was very like stuck on that artistic thing. Yeah, naive, right? But then at some point, I was like, I gotta start making money, and that's when Anna Panero, who I brought up earlier, she introduced me to my first manager.
Brian.
Huh? Who's Brian? Huh?
I don't know that reference.
Brian.
Oh, Brian, yeah.
Dude, yeah, it was in your
I
apartment.
needed a Brian,
Hey.
dog. I still need a Brian. No,
No, you
not
don't.
anymore.
You don't,
I
you don't,
need it.
man.
Yeah. But yeah, so that was what happened, man. It was 4 years in until I was like, you know what? Nobody's gonna come see me in a play, because that's the old thing. Is like you would do plays, And then somebody would come see you and they'd be like, well, I want to represent you.
Right.
That's rare now, dude.
Yeah.
It's now Al Pacino's times. And I was
Right.
reading those books and reading about how Al Pacino
You thought
made
you
it.
were gonna be fucking Robert De Niro.
Yeah,
Al
that
Pacino.
somebody was just going to come and see me in a play and be like, I want you in my movie. That's not how it worked.
I think the DJs kind of
Oh, for sure.
think that like, oh, I mean, it's happened like 1 in a million.
Right.
And did you ever do something and some guy was like, I want you, and then they would never follow up?
Yeah.
Yeah, that happens a lot.
I mean,
dude.
that's what-
There's always
that's us,
that flaky shit all
nonstop,
the
like,
time, yeah.
Yo, I want you to DJ at fucking A-Rod's party. I'm his dog walker's cousin.
Or someone sets you up with something and they're like, yo, all you gotta do is come, like, you know, you're already a shoe-in, just like come here, meet the guy, and da-da-da-da-da, and then it's like, doesn't
Never-
come.
That happens, dude. That happens. And in New York, I mean, there's a lot of that, bro. There's a lot of people preying on the fact that, like, actors are like desperate.
Mm.
A lot of people making money off of that. And they, you know, it happens all the time. Now it's gone online, too. You see all these things like, oh, take my class. I'll show you how to, you know,
Mhm.
like, how to get your package together and this, that, and the other. It's like, but, you know,
Pause.
it's hard, dog. The business is hard, bro. It's the same. It's similar to your shit where there's no real blueprint, bro.
Yeah.
Mhm.
No, of course, the arts, all arts is kind of the same, but I think that with time, we've all kind of adapted more and learned more of the business side of it. You know, like I didn't think of the business side thing even 10 years ago. Like I was like, oh,
Yeah,
I'm
we
gonna
were
make
just
money,
all
I'm
trucking
gonna-
on.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
Like, if I get a check for this, it's great, but
yeah,
who cares?
Yeah, I mean, we would do those gigs. We were DJing at multi-million-dollar venues, and we didn't even know if we were gonna get paid because we fucking it was gonna get us booked somewhere else. You know,
Yeah,
Mhm.
the opportunity, the look.
the look, yeah.
I wanted to ask, future-wise, where do you think television is going? Because, you know, like the internet, streaming, YouTube, kind of huge right now.
COVID.
Do you think or Quibi, which would have been huge if the pandemic wouldn't have hit?
Mhm.
Like, do you think TV is gonna pivot towards that, like on more online access type of thing, and maybe less commercial wise and more like ground hitting TV? You get me? Like
No
raw.
doubt.
Yeah?
Yeah, that's happening. I mean, like for instance, my boy, he's doing this this movie, and they originally wanted to do it as a movie. He already has like a big actor attached.
Mhm.
Now they're doing a limited series of that.
Mhm.
So that's where it's going, and I think it's better, bro, because you can tell stories
Yeah,
more. full,
6-hour movie basically.
Exactly. That's exactly what it
Yeah.
is. So I think it is. I think it's going towards that, man. I just hope that theaters stay alive too,
Yeah,
because that shit is like it's its own experience. You know?
right, of course.
So I hope it doesn't completely go away.
But you think now, especially with COVID, like that whole model of like you need to be in LA and around all the studios and all the execs and all the agents, like, because those like sitcom, I mean, if you're gonna be on like a sitcom, ABC, CBS, NBC, I think that's always gonna be there.
Mhm.
But do you think living in LA to like make it as a, I guess, quote unquote actor or entertainer is like now 100% necessary?
No,
Or
it's,
you can move around.
You could move around. I mean, like right now, I mean, you can be anywhere because nobody's doing anything in person.
Right.
But I think eventually it will come back though, because there's something about the human element of like being in a room with somebody.
Yeah, that kind of interaction and bonding.
Yeah,
in
and
that
you
sense,
get to feel them out. You see,
Yeah.
oh, this person's, you know, he's a cool dude. He's got a good vibe. Boom. So for casting, I think it will come back, man. Where
Mhm.
it's like in person and even meeting an agent. Like an agent, there's a difference between he meets you on Zoom and then he meets you in person.
Yeah, fact.
So I think it will eventually go back to where you got to be in certain spots. You know, I don't think that this thing is forever.
Did this pandemic like completely fuck you up like mentally with like, because I mean for a lot of DJs and I mean everyone in this room is like we were like going full force 100% and then like in 1 second it's like, yo, you're done.
Dude, I had severe anxiety.
Yeah.
When I tell you severe anxiety, bro, I mean I was like, dude, I'm gonna go nuts, bro, because I had just moved to LA. It was my first time in LA. I'd never been to LA. I'd never done the whole thing. I got out there. I got the reps, dude. I was like, I got an agent. I got a manager. Now I'm kicking. And I moved there January 13th. I booked my first audition in LA. Like first audition I had, I booked it, and it was a recurring. So I was like, damn, dude, it's 3 episodes. like, this is wild. I had only booked like guest stars, which are 1 day things. You go in
Yeah.
1 day, you get out. So I booked this thing. I start shooting it like a week after I'm in the room with all these actors like Bruno Bashir, in Snowfall. I don't know if you guys watch Snowfall on
Yeah, it's
FX,
fire.
but all the actors from that show, dude. So I'm like,
Damn, I would have been.
damn,
so
bro, I'm in this room, like I'm doing it, dog. And I shoot 1 day on the show, and it's all like exterior, like stuff where I'm just like kind of moving the actors from one place to another because I played a cop. And bro, then fucking the pandemic hits, and I was just like, well, I guess this is a 2-week thing. Let me go back to Miami, like just be with family during this 2-week lockdown. It turns into
Still here, dog. We still here, dog.
It turns into some other shit, bro. And
From January to December, we're here, dog.
yeah, dude. So then I think it was somewhere around April where I was like, oh, dude, I don't know what I'm doing. I have no money. I have no job. I don't know when the industry's gonna come back. I'm watching all these dudes that have made it. Like Joey Diaz had his podcast. He's saying, yo, forget about your dream of becoming a ballet dancer. Like, go work at the fucking grocery store. Go do that. I'm like, oh my God. It's just starting to like get into the rhythm of things. So then to add to that, my girl gets pregnant.
Oof.
And I'm like, dude.
Little Robby.
Now we
Robberoo.
Yeah, it was a little bit of relief because, getting pregnant is not easy. So I was definitely relieved and I was super happy about it, bro. But then a week later, the next day, whatever, it fucking falls on you like, bro, what am I doing, dude? I'm staying at my mom's house right now. I have no job, no anything going on. Like, what the fuck am I gonna do, bro? Start doing Wim Hof. Right.
Breathing exercise.
Aubrey Marcus is on fucking repeat. I'm like trying to figure out how the fuck to get out of this. Wim Hof legit helped me, dude. Like that breathing shit was legit as fuck. The cold therapy, all that. I did it all, bro. Right? Meditating, Sam Harris on fucking every morning. I had this routine. It settled me down. A month later, I get the audition notice. First audition I've had in the whole pandemic, bro. We're talking about like 3-4 months already. My first audition comes in at the end of June, and it's for this thing, Heels, bro. And I'm like, whatever, dude. It's a self tape. Like, I guess I'll send it in. I did the self tape. I send it in. A week later, my agent's like, hey, they love you. Like, they really like you. Just be ready, right? Because there's gonna be a callback with the producers. So I'm thinking it's like a callback. They're gonna want me to act the scene out again, and they give you notes and shit like this. So all right, bro. It turns out the callback comes in, and it's like, yo, you got to do a workout. Now, pandemic, dude. We're talking about pandemic. I've gained a little bit,
like pandemic
right?
15.
Yeah. I'm not, I'm not in shape at all.
You gotta do a workout.
They want to see me do a workout because it's a wrestler.
Right.
Now, he's a little bit down and out, so they don't want like, fucking Hulk Hogan, but they want you to be able to move around. Yeah. They don't want this.
They don't want Hector Zaya.
They don't want that shit.
They want Robbie Ramos.
Yeah. They want something.
But hey, he used to be an athlete.
Dang.
That's true,
So that
dog.
little gene.
It
that
did know
monkey
the
mantle
gene. That gene, bro. I ran 10 miles once with this dude, so I let that be known, dude. On the day Bin Laden died, bro. I remember we ran the 10 miles, guys.
Wow.
Yeah. Listen.
He didn't stop once, dude.
No.
Wow.
And
He didn't stop. I swear on
How?
Harry, because I was behind the whole time.
I
He
barely
didn't stop
run
once.
one mile.
Key Biscayne, bro. We ran that shit, and it was like we started running like at 3. We ended like at 7, and fucking the lights. I mean, the sun went down. There was no lights. We were running in the shit. Yeah. But then when we finished running, it's like I checked my phone. Bin Laden died. I was like, what's going on here, dude? That shit stayed. Yeah.
America.
Runner's high.
We were gonna, yo, Bin Laden, dude.
10 more. 10 more.
We're like,
You wanted to go run with the flag?
yeah, dog.
Now we
I was
went on a
hyped
cruise
as
the
fuck.
next day.
Oof. With the
That's
flag.
That's what it was
With
for.
the flag.
That's right, yeah.
That's what it was for.
We were getting prepared for that.
Damn, I went to run 10 miles a day before you went on a cruise?
Yeah, dude, we were
Gotta
We
be
were trying to show up.
Bro, that's some Hollywood Mike shit. Man.
So that's what I'm saying. When
The
you
last crease, you know what I mean?
when you know you want to be ready for something that you really want to be ready for, you know you can turn it on.
Exactly, dude.
So I'm assuming.
Yeah,
what was the
work?
workout like?
I had to tap into that. It was simple in part. So it was 10 push-ups, 10 sit-ups, 10 get-ups, but it's like a wrestling get-up. It's a little different, and then 10. It's some shit,
suplex.
bro. And so then and 10 something else. I don't remember, but it was these 10 of 10 of 10, whatever. And that was fine, dude. I did that. Fuck, where do I get? Okay, so I'm in Tennessee, bro, right? We're in Gatlinburg, and I get the call for this callback. We're in Gatlinburg because my parents are getting a cabin out there. I start looking for gyms because I'm like, yo, I can't.
Yo, middle of
what
fucking
the fuck
nowhere.
am I gonna do? Yeah.
During the pandemic.
The first gym that comes up is a gym with a I see like a ring, like a boxing ring. So I'm like, let me call this gym. I call the gym. I tell the guy, hey man, this is a weird request, but I'm an actor. I need like an hour of your time for you to film this audition. Like, it's for the part of a wrestler in Atlanta. And he's like, oh, he's like, it's for the part of what? Like, it's a wrestler in Atlanta. He's like, dude, I was a wrestler in Atlanta in an independent league. I'm like, oh my God, everything's lining up, dude. Like, this is it, dog. This is what you hear about. People talk about in podcasts like this. So then I'm like, all right, I'll be there tomorrow. So the next day, I show up to this guy's thing.
Wearing a mask.
Out of shape as shit.
He shows up. Was he like in costume?
Nah. This dude was the shit.
Rooting for you though.
No. So yeah, so I show up and he was real nice, bro. He saw I'm out of shape, but he's like, "Fuck it, we'll do it." And then yeah. And so I'm like, yeah.
Oh, fuck it. We can do
Well, I said
make it work,
Yeah, yeah.
He didn't hear you like breathing heavy over the phone. He was like, "Oh, it's going."
Exactly.
He's like Hector Zaya's coming in. This motherfucker's cut.
So we start this thing. He starts warming me up and he's talking to me, like trying to get to know me. And I'm like, brother, we can't do the warm up. Like, we got to just do this audition shit because I'm getting tired right now. Dog.
Yeah.
And so he's like, all right, so let's see you do a push up. So I start doing the push ups. He's like, all right, it's not bad. And then he keeps making me do these push ups. I'm like, dude, I can't do any more push ups. Like, I need to just like act this shit. Like, I got to act like I'm in shape, dog, right?
Yeah. He doesn't understand like the
method as
position.
Mad method.
Yeah.
So this dude is like, all right, fuck it, let's run it. So he starts the tape. I start doing the workout. Halfway through the workout, I get a little fuck. Like I'm about to throw up. I'm like, hold it, dog. Hold it, because if now you got to do this shit again, bro.
Yeah.
So we get to the end of the workout. And at the end of the workout, I wanted to do like a little pound.
Oh no.
Bro, I couldn't do that, guy, because if I went like that, I would have fucking
projectile.
So I turn around, I start walking towards the back door of the gym, and erectile fucking
Projectile. Yeah.
Projectile.
Dude.
Yeah.
Erectile.
Erectile dysfunction, fucking.
Yeah. ED.
I couldn't feel anything, dog, and
Just
my
projectile vomiting.
erectile vomited,
Erectile vomiting.
and it fucking, dude, it comes out of my mouth. I'm like, oh,
It looked like the Eric Andre show, and it's like a hose.
yeah.
Like on the side.
Yeah.
It probably looked dramatic on the clip, like you walked off like like
Yeah.
you were, like, dying.
I showed you the clip, dog. I
It's
acted-
inspirational.
Yeah.
dude.
So then he's like, man, it looks good. Like, you know, it's decent. It kind of looked like I'm a little bit in shape. Now, this is the second half of the audition, was doing these forward rolls. Now, if you were to do the forward roll, you could do it. If you were to do the forward roll, you could do it. You guys might have a little more problem. But so I'm fucking with you, Paul. So my thing is like,
I'm an athlete,
Nah,
bro.
but here's the
listen.
thing, brother. No, here's the thing.
You
You don't
rode 10
know.
miles today, bro.
Dog, I hear what you're saying, but this is the thing. When you have a belly, bro, and you're trying to do a forward roll, that shit don't work out like it's supposed to. Because
But look, this is how the dots connected, bro. Because a couple months prior, I was like, yo, let's just try jujitsu with me.
oh, that's
Just
right.
do it one time. And there you did the rolls. You were dying,
Yeah,
but you did a roll.
I did. Yeah,
So
yeah.
maybe it clicked in that.
Maybe,
audition.
bro, maybe. And I had this trainer. He was like, bro, you could do it. Like, this is how you do it. You put your head down, blah, blah, blah. And I end up doing one roll, bro. I had to do 3 rolls.
Wow.
3 forward rolls in a row, right? I could only do one that looked decent because I would get dizzy. I mean, if you've never done a forward roll, you also get dizzy. I get dizzy for everything. So we do one, and I'm like, bro, you know what? I'm going to send that. Like, it's fine. He's like, all right, cool.
You have to sign that one 3 times.
Yeah.
It's like a
So
clip.
yeah. So then he's like, I'm like, bro, thank you, dude. Like, this shit was awesome. He told me a bunch of shit about wrestling and all this crap. And then he's like, and then I go, well, how much do I owe you? He's like, nah, man. Like, this is free, bro. Like,
Damn, he's gonna air the episode at the fucking gym, dog. Projector vibes.
He's like,
I
just do
hope
me
so,
a
dog.
favor, man. Book that show, brother.
straight up, I swear on my life, that's what he said, bro.
Nice.
And the thing was, he hadn't followed his dream as a wrestler, like,
Wow.
because he had a kid,
Mm.
right? And this, he was telling me all of these things through while I was dying and warming up. And he's like, bro, I didn't follow my, you got this, dude. Like,
Yeah.
this is your shit. Just book the job, bro. Damn, dude, this is
Fire.
sick. Like, I hope this
Fire.
works out. I send my thing out, and bro, we don't hear back for a month,
Mm.
dude.
You're just on edge.
That month, I'm
You were
on
doing
edge,
rolls
dude.
the whole month.
I'm
Getting
doing
ready.
rolls. I'm doing cold therapy. I'm doing I'm just in the pool at my sister's house, like looking up at the sky, like what the fuck is going on, bro? Finally, I get the call, dude, and my agent was just like, they want you. They, Bob. I
They're like,
started.
the other guy had a heart attack.
Yeah, the other guy died.
By
and
default, you won.
So, dude, and then that's it, bro. And then a week later, I was on my way to Atlanta to shoot the show,
A-Town. Nice.
and like that quick, bro, it just fucking turned
Were you
around.
ever like, because bro, especially in this year, it's like anything could go wrong in a second. Were you ever still doubting, like, yo, I hope this like show, because if God forbid, like 5 people test positive and this and that, and then they shut down, and then
Yeah.
it's like, yo, now what?
Is there measures?
My bad on me.
No, I mean, yeah, like,
throw that more in your
What?
face.
I was gonna talk about it too because the Tom Cruise shit that came out. I don't know if you saw that shit.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah.
man.
That was pretty dope.
So, I mean, a lot of people were talking shit, but I was like, yo, like he's
He's right.
He's right. He's 1,000%.
He was a
right.
dick,
He was a
but
dick about
bro,
it.
whatever, bro. Like,
He's saying, yo, I'm paying out of my own pocket.
yeah, he's like, I'm giving all you motherfuckers jobs.
Jobs, yeah.
And you're the ones ruining this
Yeah.
shit. There,
It's true, bro.
I felt him because he's like, yo, there are actors right now that don't have work,
Yeah.
and I'm lucky enough to do this shit with y'all. Like,
Yeah, when I heard it, I'm like, yo, he's 1,000% right. Like, I mean,
but he just had a meltdown because for the most part, like they'll just replace a person.
Yeah, of course.
Oh yeah. It's just
Like
he's
you'll go to
talking-
lunch, come back, brand new camera guy, like, and
Yeah.
as if he's been there from the beginning.
Yeah,
Like,
facts. He was in
but-
Studio 1, now he's in Studio 2.
yeah. Now I just think he just had a meltdown. He
Yeah.
was tired of this shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, we've had a lot of that on set. Not the meltdowns, but like just like the protocols are crazy, bro. And then if one person gets it, if you're around that person who got it, is this the
It's funny he's wearing a mask while he's doing all this.
yeah.
I mean, it's not funny, but you can tell he's wearing a mask.
Tom Cruise doesn't sound happy.
Yeah. But yeah, no, the protocols have been crazy for the COVID shit. And we have been afraid of like completely, but this is a credit to the production is like people have gotten it and then they reschedule the whole schedule like
Yeah.
to fit in like so that person's scenes will
So
be
you don't
moved
waste
like 2
time.
months
Right.
later. Yeah.
Oh, that's dope.
So we've been adapting, dude. That's been everyone's had to do that, bro. It's like
And let me ask you this, because I was talking to somebody about it. This might be super random, but are there shows that are implementing like it's COVID? You get what I'm saying? Like if it's a show, or have you heard of anything that's like, oh, the show is based on like current times, so like in the show they wear masks and like they follow the protocols because in the show it's like real time.
yeah,
Yeah.
they are doing that. It pisses me off a little bit. Because just because like it's like I don't know, some of it is like, oh, we're wearing the mask and that kind of thing instead of actually like, is it safe, or like, what are the, I don't know, there's a thing about the mask thing that is interesting. So like I see commercials of people wearing masks,
Yeah.
but it has nothing to do with masks.
Right.
It's just
Yeah.
2 people wearing masks.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
And that shit, I'm like, dude, I don't
No, I
get it.
mean, and that's because I don't really watch that much TV. I try to like, bro, I haven't seen a movie in a while, and like to me, like since the pandemic, I watched a little bit. I stopped watching TV like 2 years ago. Through the pandemic, I was watching a little bit, and then I was thinking, I was like, yo, like stuff that's being filmed now, are they gonna like adapt like it's now, or are they gonna keep going like normal? So
I
was
think that's the
wondering that.
minority, though.
Yeah,
Yeah, for the most part, we're just keeping it going.
Yeah.
Like if it, you know,
right,
Yeah.
like normal. Yeah,
yeah.
Has this kind of like put that in your head of like, yo, I need to be prepared for. I mean, that industry was already like, you need to be prepared for the super lows and super highs, but now it's like,
Yeah, it has, but it also has given me a little bit of hope because, I mean, we always need content.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, they're not shutting down productions entirely because like studios are like, dude, we have nothing, we have no more content. Like, we need more. So it might come back even double, dude. When everything opens up, there's like productions that have been held off. You know, there's all these things, so it might come back twofold. And what is everyone doing at their house? They're watching
TV.
They're watching TV.
Something,
They're
yeah.
watching. They're streaming shit, and it goes back to what you were saying, Paulie, about streaming. It's like that shit is blowing up, dude. Like there's real
that's
money.
the
to
good
be
thing
made.
because it's at least a little different from DJing, where it's like these people, these corporations and companies have money, bro. And even if it's a rainy day like COVID, they have money and they're
So
gonna
they're-
continue to make money. But venues and restaurants aren't like gonna come back like, all right, yo,
Yeah.
they're gonna come back frugal as shit.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
yo,
Yeah,
we need to
maybe the first opening is gonna be
Yeah.
wild, but then after that, it's back to
I think theater is similar to you guys. I mean,
Yeah.
theater, Broadway's shut down, dude. It's
crazy.
nothing at all. So in that, and if you're just in the theater world, like that's fucked.
So you got out. I mean, not got out, but you pivoted in a good time,
Exactly,
focusing on
dude.
TV.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. AMC doesn't exist anymore.
Nah, that shit's about to fucking.
You think like large scale, like, you know, for example, like what was that show? It was huge on HBO. Game of Thrones, right? They had like large scale battles. You think shows like that are probably done, or maybe it'll be more of a CGI type of thing? Because having so many people, or like The Walking Dead, you know,
Right.
billions of zombies on top of each other is not COVID like regulation. You think those are done for? Like, you think we're
Dude.
probably gonna see small scale, more intimate, which is a good thing, but more intimate acting, more intimate movies, TV
Yeah,
shows.
there might be, man, for a while, you know. But I really do feel like everything's gonna come back to normal, man. I know
Yeah,
I'm
you're
in the
hopeful.
minority of
You're
that.
being hopeful.
I know I'm in the minority of that thinking, but I feel like it is, dude. I think like this has happened before, bro. I mean, we're so short sighted with history. Like this shit has happened before, and then eventually things go back to normal. I think that's gonna happen again. I think.
And
I don't know, man. The end of the world.
I think a new.
I know.
December
yeah, it could be
21st.
the end of the
You
world,
heard
bro.
about that?
Yeah.
The Mayan calendar is
oh
wrong.
my gosh.
The Mi-
It was wrong. It really meant
It ran
2020.
2020 instead of 2012, right?
December 21st.
Bro, if this had happened in fucking, when was it with the Mayan? The 2012?
2012, yeah.
Bro, we would have been shitting bricks. Or in 2001 when the whole thing.
The Y2K.
I remember being scared about that shit.
Yeah, bro, I filled up my bathtub full of water. I remember before going to a party, my mom was like, "Fill all the bathtubs up. We're gonna run out of water."
I remember I was in Nicaragua and I was grounded because I spent a lot of my high school grounded, and I was grounded at New Year's.
Grounded. Wow, that's great.
Bro, I used to get grounded a lot. So I remember it was New Year, and New Year's in Nicaragua was huge, bro. Like, I mean, y'all know I go
Yeah.
DJ a huge party every 2 years. So I was like, damn, I'm not gonna fucking be out with my friends. But at the same time, in the back of my head, I was like, yo, but I'll be here for like, so when shit hits the fan, like I'm already at my house with my
Bunker
parents.
down.
My friends are on the beach, like they're gonna get stranded. Fuck those guys, dude. And I remember it was like 3, 2, 1, and everybody was like,
waiting, kind of like waiting for
and
everything to
man,
shut down.
Again, nothing, bro. You know,
Nothing
computers are
happened.
smarter than two digits. You know.
Well, they had mentioned it like 4 days prior that they fixed the problem.
Yeah.
That was all the computers are gonna go back to
Conspiracy.
zero.
Yeah.
Deep state. But yo, I wanted to ask you too, with COVID, you think it's just similar to DJing as well or anything, but you think it's gonna filter out maybe people that either A, weren't serious, or B,
hobby actors
did
and-
not have
yeah.
what it took and we're like, yeah, this is forget it.
Yeah, for sure, dude.
Yeah.
That's good for you.
Have you
Yeah.
seen that already?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think it's like if you were already doubting it, it's just added more to
Yeah.
that,
Mhm.
bro. And now it's like now you have a real excuse, right?
Yeah.
It used to be like you just make up excuses. Now you have a real one, and so people use it at liberty, dog, with everything. But again, that's people that are short sighted, dude. Shit's gonna come back at
Yeah.
some point.
Yeah.
How do you guys feel about like the DJ scene and that whole thing? Is that coming back? Or
Yeah, I mean, out of all of us, I'm the one that works the most, or I'm the one that's like trying to work the most.
I work just as much as you do.
Yeah. Well,
Nah, I'm kidding.
yeah, I'm working.
Nah,
Thursday.
he
I'm
takes
working
multiple. He takes multiple gigs. and shit.
I'm work this week. I'm working Thursday through Monday.
Hmm.
So,
Normal.
but it's normal. Budgets aren't the same. Venues aren't the same. Venues aren't
Yeah,
everything.
it's not the same.
But a lot of people are adapting. You know, like obviously, you know, like it's kind of how Zaya just mentioned that like some people aren't built for it. Same time, in the DJ world, what it's been is that some DJs still have the mentality pre-COVID, and they think that they're still that. So when they try to talk to these people, they're like, "Yo, what the fuck is wrong with you, bro? Like, we're not making money like that. You want to charge us this, or you
Mhm.
think that much of yourself?" Like, my approach has been, "Yo, like, I tell people this: I don't work for McDonald's. I don't work for Amazon. Like, all the venues we work for are like independently owned. So, like, if I have that relationship with the owner or the booker, or whoever, I'm always like, yo, you know, what can we do? Like, you know, let me know how I can help you. Don't feel like intimidated or don't feel like ashamed of offering me less money or whatever." And it's become like a kind of new norm in the sense, and also the booth, like for us is I love it because it's like, yo, like even more distance, you know, from regulars coming up to the booth. So that's things are just changing and things are evolving, but like if you're with it, you're growing with it, you know. That's the way I see it. Like you're connecting and you're doing this and people see you out. We've done a lot of shit out, but if people see you working, they're like, "Oh, dope! Like this guy's doing shit," you know? Like,
right? But when you say you're the one who was working the most, is it because like you guys you don't want to do it, or is it decision from coming from you guys, or is it that there's
I
actually
think-
not enough work for all?
I think it's a little bit of everything. I think everyone's situation is different. For me, I've taken this time as like, because fortunately I don't have a necessity to work right now, but I've been taking it as like a break because, bro, like I didn't realize it till this pandemic, even though I was starting to realize it. But then once you literally had to stay still, you're
Mhm.
like, bro, what the fuck? That I was going at like 300 miles an hour every week, every day. So I've been enjoying that working this week, every weekend and every night, and like missing out on shit. So I've been like taking advantage of that, and I don't know. I'm looking at it different. Like I definitely do want to get back to it soon, but I just been like taking my time with it. I was like, all right, I'm gonna approach it different from my end because now I'm trying to do different things, and I want to focus on other shit
Like what?
like this podcast,
Uh-huh.
like businesses on the side I'm trying to start and like grow now that I have the time to actually put effort in it. Because before it was like, yo, I got to focus on DJing no matter what.
Right.
And I can't ever even give any love to any of these other things because then my DJ is going to fall off.
right. And it's kind of I mean, for me, I don't have as much going on outside of DJing as Zaya does. But same thing, I've had other things kind of come around, and I have like a
It's
business.
like we're realizing that like
this shit doesn't last forever.
and that like
Yeah.
it's not like I feel like back in the day maybe a little more it was where like, yo, you better be 100% in this DJ shit and like getting all the gigs you can and hitting it up and making connects. But I feel like the times have changed where it's like, yo, we can build multiple lanes for ourselves. We could be doing the podcast. We could be doing this.
And a lot of
we could be doing
DJs,
that.
and that's the thing. A lot of DJs have, you know, like there's guys, bro, like Skitty, this dude that we know, like he used to fish, and he started like his own charter thing where he takes people out fishing. Like it was his hobby, and it ended up being, you know, because of COVID, whatever. Now he's not fully, you know, that energy. He's focused on his other job.
See, but that's
He
dope,
also
bro.
sells king fish dip. So he goes fishing and
That's
he
what I'm
catches-
saying. He has
like-
like multiple.
and he
Because-
kills it, bro. Like,
Yeah.
that shit, and
Yeah.
that shit is
Yeah.
fire.
I
So
feel
shout
like
out to Skitty.
DJing is. Shout out to Skitty.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
I feel like DJing is different, where it's like your things that you do can kind of overlap and be within the same umbrella, and you can kind of grow them each. But that's why I'm saying, like for me, I was not giving love to anything else, and I wasn't giving them a chance. I was just like, nah, DJ. So I never really allowed myself to be like, oh, maybe I'm better at this, or I
Yeah.
enjoy this more.
With the DJ, did you have an end goal in sight? Like, were you like, oh, because I know I compare to my thing, I'm like, oh, I want to be, you know, series regular. I want to be working theater film, TV, like back and forth with DJing? And this is a question for both of you three. Intern, no?
Yeah, he's a DJ.
He can answer.
But yeah, nah, bro.
We'll throw the mic at him.
But what I'm saying is, like, you guys have, like, is there like an end goal for the DJ thing? Is there like a something you guys are going for? Or?
So we talk about this on the podcast a lot because different times meant different things, and there was times when all the DJs thought that there was only one lane. Like there was a time when, like, if you were a club DJ, the private DJs thought less of one or the other, and vice versa. But I mean, with time, like, and I always go back to having an identity as a DJ. So like your identity as a DJ, like, is what you make you set your own goal. You know, there's not one thing. You know, if I DJ at Wood, I've been there forever, and like, I mean, my end goal would be something related to that avenue, to that lane, or something that I can grow from that lane. You know, but back then, like DJing at certain venues meant more than this and more than that. But as time goes by, you kind of realize that, like, it doesn't, you know, like everything else, you're pleasing yourself and that's it. But, you know, I think most DJs, the end goal is to kind of, like Wazea said, like, find a different avenue that's related to what you've done. You know, like, I've built my name and my brand, and I work with other companies and I do other shit. So it's something in a more, like, for me, it's something in a more daytime environment. You know, I have a show on globalization. I work with Sirius, something related to like a radio, a PD position, or with a label or something like that. You know, an avenue that's related to it's like you becoming an agent. You know, like, you know, the business back, like the back of your hand, and you don't want to act for whatever reason. You know, you become an agent, or you find other avenues. You know,
right? Yeah, that's wild though.
Yeah, and I think as you get older, your dreams change, and like you want, like when I was young, I was like, yo, I need to be the biggest DJ in the US.
Yeah.
That's why I
Open
went to
format.
Vegas.
Yeah, so I was like still chasing the club shit. And I wanted to have residencies everywhere, every city, every country. I mean, not every country, every state. But then you get older, and then you start seeing the industry for what it is, and then you start getting a little jaded, and then you're like, oh, I don't know, do I really want that? Do I want this? Do I want that? So now it's more of like building something that's long lasting.
Yeah.
And I think, and we had a interview recently with the 100th episode special guest. Won't name him, but he really put it in perspective for me of how he said, keep the dream alive. He's like, all I've been he's like not, I'll say very old. He's not very old. He's been doing it for a long time.
He's an OG.
He's an OG.
Super OG.
Damn,
And
super
he doesn't
OG.
DJ. He doesn't DJ anymore. But he's like, yo, I work so hard that you can never take the DJ away from me. But I'm just doing all the things that I'm passionate about. So like his thing is keeping the dream alive. Like, yo, now I'm gonna make films because like fuck it, I want to make films with my boys.
Yeah.
And they've had films and festivals and this and that, and they do like all these things. But it's just like about them trying to keep it as long as going as possible, of them doing whatever they want to do.
And then it's something similar to what you said earlier, is about, like you said, you love doing Broadway, doing shows, doing theater, but you do the TV, or you do everything to finance, to have the luxury to take that, you know. And with DJ, it comes a lot too, because we'll do the gigs that, you know, are terrible but pay money, you know, but at the same time, it's a balance. So then I can go do this gig that I can play whatever the fuck I want, that fills that inner joy of me. It's not a financial joy, it's a inner joy, you know. So like when you kind of find, when you're able to like finance your dreams, and then your dreams start making you money, that's when it's like full circle.
Exactly.
So
I just want to be able to do whatever I want to do for the rest of my life. That's like the general thing. Like I decide.
Yeah.
So right now it's podcasting and whatever it is, or whatever it may be, but that's what I want to do right now. It might change in like 5 years. I don't know.
And it will.
Yeah, facts.
Yeah, facts. Yeah.
And I think a lot of people have trouble, especially with DJing, like letting that shit go.
Like giving up.
Yo, I need to still be DJ, whatever.
I think it was like because there's perceptions of what you can be as a DJ, and then we kind of got like into that.
Right.
But most people, I think, as a hobby, right?
Yeah.
Right. It should always be that. even in the end, when we're 80 years old, like when you tell your grandkids, "Oh, I used to DJ,"
And that's
it's
also
just a
like
hobby thing.
I want to be like 40 and like I'm not gonna be DJing.
Hey, that's not that
well,
far, bro.
that's the thing. Look,
No, for me, like like
I thought the same thing starting off. Immediately, I'm like, when I was a kid, I'm like, yo, this would be sick if I'm like a DJ. But like, damn, what if I'm like 40?
No, but that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying like
it's
I
wild
want to
'cause
be 40 and be able to be like not DJing actively, but then like 1 month I'm like, yo, I want to play all hip hop 90s on a Thursday night at Wood.
Yeah. You can.
Right. No, and be like, all right, let me try to book this because I still do this, but I'm not like, you know what I'm saying?
Just
like,
have to have a foot in it still.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's.
I used it as a stepping stone. I was like, I know that I can use DJing, like let's say the fame, to do something else. Like it's easy for like a Dylan Francis to just stop what he's doing and open up a pizza shop and call it Dylan's Pizza,
All right.
and then make money off that. It's not that he wants to do, but it was something that I always thought. I always wanted a sandwich spot. So I'm like, damn, what's a dope way, instead of not knowing anybody and forcing people to try my food, maybe them already knowing who I am and then intrigued on like, fuck it, I know Paul E, the DJ from Mansion. Let me try his sandwich. That's an easier way to get people to try your food.
Yeah, and that's
or
kind of
your product.
And it goes back to kind of what I was saying. Like, you keep building your brand, you keep building everything, your name and your following and everything.
You can pivot anywhere,
and then you can just pivot. Yeah, like, because people know, and they know you for being authentic, and they know you for doing what you genuinely do. You know, like I talk about fashion shit all the time. Like, I'm working on something with that, and it's something that I've loved all my life, and people know, like, oh, Kaz always wears like weird shit, or people know me for that. So it's just another lane that like it all revolves.
You gotta start dressing up like Russell Westbrook, like super tight shit.
I've done that.
Girl pants.
See, but that's sick, bro. That like, I feel like that's some of the good shit that's coming out of the pandemic, and that's happening, bro. How many times do you watch documentaries about like Jean-Michel Basquiat, right, or somebody like that, and you're like, fuck, dude. Like, he was living in New York at this time, and all these dudes that were just like living in fucking these fucked up places, and then one of them is like, I want to be a drummer, and then some other dude, and they start a band. You know what I mean? That shit is happening again, dude, and we're fucking living in it.
Yeah,
now it's a little different because we got all these things, these gadgets and shit. But bro, it's happening again.
No,
it's dope though.
Like a little renaissance.
It is a fucking renaissance, dude.
I mean, I think in 20 years, the big ass test book of 2020 that our kids are gonna get, there's gonna be a good part in there of like what came out of this bullshit that we were in, and it was, I mean, some of my favorite artists have blossomed into like insane human beings. Andrew Schultz being a year ago, Andrew Schultz being what he was to what's going on now. Like, it's crazy to see what the pandemic did. It made us creatives like step on the gas.
Yeah, and then it exposed a lot of cats. I always put it on our group chat. I'm like, bro, it exposed a lot of people because you see all these people lost their fucking minds.
We talked about people that DJs or whatever that like were just so robots, and were so like, boom, here's my flyer, here's this, here's that. And I would be like, during March, April, May, I would sit there on my phone and be like, yo, where's DJ so-and-so? What the fuck has that guy been up to? Or he would fucking come to the gigs and talk shit about the DJs, or lurk behind you and think how he could do it better. But motherfucker hasn't posted once in 3 months because their life and their image and their brand, and like, they're so like fucking, they have the blinders that they think that it has to be this way, and because of this, and because how long they've been doing it. No, bro, like you become forgotten, you know, like, and a lot of people have, and a lot of people have come back, have never come back. Some people stayed up, you know.
I still think it's time for there's still enough time for the ones that weren't able to get it going throughout this last 6 months.
Yeah,
there's still time to do.
No, yeah, same. And you know what? And I thought about that too, because I was thinking, I was like, yo, like, you can't really. I mean, the pandemic's obviously not over, but you can't close the door on people because there's still things blossoming.
Yeah.
You know,
like, we're not even fully working like the way we wanted to. Like, so if you're out there and you gave up, there's still time to come back, bro.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Find it somewhere within you. If you think this is what you're destined to do,
opportunity
to be a
It's
creative,
always about the recovery.
start it, bro.
too.
Harvard has free classes. I've been taking that shit. Like, come on, bro, just go,
dude.
just do it.
Do all that shit, and I think too is like, you know, the media is like feeding all this fear, bro. And
That's the thing.
if you were really buying into the fear, you wouldn't be
You're
fucking
fucked.
doing
Yeah,
DJing right now.
Of course.
Nah, he'd be
But
at
it's
Publix.
like, bro, at some point, dude, sack up, dude,
Yeah.
No, of
and
course.
get out there, bro, and
Yeah.
like start doing it again, dude. Even if it's baby steps,
Right.
bro.
Yeah,
you don't
yeah,
have to
facts.
go straight.
That's the
into
thing.
it.
Yeah,
Facts.
I feel like we're in such a microwave society that people want shit now to happen now. People are afraid to try.
Yeah, dude.
And it's like back to what you said. It like when this shit happened, we could have even been like, yo, we'll do the podcast like eventually.
Of course.
But yo, like I feel like the growth that we've had on this podcast from
It's
this
been-
whole month.
Yeah, it's been really
and
good.
the amount of content and people we met and conversations we had is like, yo, I'm so happy we did not stop doing the podcast, bro. Because
Yeah.
it was like, now we're ready for like next year, whatever fucking next year
Mhm,
looks like.
mhm.
But we know we've learned so much of like how to do things the right way. Like imagine we would have stopped, that would have been like,
That
we
would've
would
been
have been
awful.
catching up.
Bro.
Yeah.
Exactly, dude.
That's
Exactly.
crazy. But
But
hey,
with that,
wait, I gotta ask you one more question
Okay.
before we
Oh,
get out.
fuck.
Now that we finish getting deep.
Scandal time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No,
Oof.
no. I want to know what's the worst review you ever gotten of something.
Oh, it's that play I wrote.
And you,
Man,
bro.
you and
Oh no, I got that motherfucker. He's in my head still.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I wrote a play, and there was a dude who came to see it, and he wrote something like, first of all, I knew he was coming from a political place because he was like, the actors were fantastic. Like this actor was showing so much range and
it was
depth,
like
and,
backhanded.
and comedy and all these things, but the writer was on a soapbox about Cuba and about all this thing. He's from Canada, so I was like,
You're like,
See, the thing about acting is you need the writing to show your depth, bro.
right,
You can't just fucking like if you put that's why soap operas are the way they are. They're written specifically to be that way, to be acted in that way. So when I read that, I was like, "Fuck this dude, bro," because you know what,
that's
bro?
why
It's
fuck
like,
your bitch, you fat motherfucker.
Look it up.
You know when he said
but it's true,
the
bro.
writer was
where-
like,
where can
you're
we
talking
find-
to him.
where can
You're
we find
talking to
this?
You right?
Yeah,
so
yeah,
he
yeah.
wrote the writer.
Yeah, he
Alpha,
wrote the writer.
Alpha 66.
He wrote
Hey,
the
where-
writer was
where-
on his soapbox.
Where can we find this? I want to see it.
Well, Alpha? Oh, put in
He's not
Alpha
listening.
66 review.
Oh, it's like written.
Put Alpha 66.
Canadian.
Yeah.
It's
Put Alpha
published?
66, Robby Ramos. Put my name too, though, because there's a bunch of
It's like a published article.
Robbie with
Hey,
a Y.
you know how to spell, bro?
Damn, dog.
ROBBY.
Damn, intern. Yo.
Yeah,
need
'cause
chin,
that's
bro.
a stage name, dude.
Yeah,
Robby.
So go, let's see, go down. Keep going.
Oh my God, look at that guy.
Your Google
Damn,
Analytics
bro.
are off the chain.
I don't know if we're going to be able to find
FBI
it, dog.
cases.
Go
Damn,
back up.
IMDb
Nah,
popped
chill,
up.
Chill, Bobble. Go back up. Go back up.
Whatever. What's his Instagram? So we can.
Yeah, well, fuck it. The point is that this motherfucker, man. Yeah, I still remember that shit, dude. And but like I said, if that had stopped me, dude, if the fear of that person writing that had stopped me,
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be where I'm at all.
I think that there's DJs that think that way about me.
Why?
Like fucking Ka5. Like this motherfucker fucking hate him. And I hope they prevail, you know?
I hope they prevail.
Like I hope that gives them that
You're
push
writing
that they hate me.
reviews?
I don't know. Damn, on Playbill though? Oof, official?
No, we were out there, dog. We were out there.
Official?
But yeah, that dude.
When we mentioned Orange is the New Black, you played what did you play exactly?
You played a
Ice
pedophile?
cream
I got a
man,
question.
dude.
An ice cream man?
Yeah, dude.
A creepy ice cream man.
Yeah.
Did you ever get like someone like on Twitter or like Instagram or did you search it up?
Was
like,
there any backfire from that?
Oh, I did, bro.
Yeah.
So actually,
Were you like hesitant? Like, yo, should I play this?
there was a
fucking-
picture that. So the director of that was, God, I'm
from
losing.
the '70s show, right?
Yeah, the girl from that '70s show. I'm forgetting her name.
Donna,
She's-
that girl.
I think she
was
the
on the
redhead
show?
on it.
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
She's on Orange is the New
Yeah.
Black.
She's
She
a
has black
director?
hair.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, I
she's
didn't know
a
that.
beast, dude, and she was.
She's married to the other chick, right?
in the
Is it-
Laura Prepon, right? So Laura was the director, and she put up a picture on her Instagram of her in this ice cream truck, and I'm in the back on some. It looks on some creep shit. I was just there, like scared out of my face because it was one of my first things on TV, and so I had like this weird, like I was in the back on some weird shit,
Right.
and then, if
go back like 4 years, bro.
yeah, it's back, it's back.
Yeah, it's not gonna be one of them.
somebody on Twitter, I made a tweet on Twitter like, oh, you know, it was great being on the show, blah, blah, blah. She retweeted it, and then people started writing to me, dog.
No way.
And they're just like, this is the creep in the ice cream truck and all this shit.
Arrest that man.
Yeah. And I was like, bro.
He wasn't in character.
Yeah.
And like your parents saw and shit, were they like,
Oh, and then I showed my parents, bro.
This is interesting.
Literally, dude, I showed them, and they saw it, and they were like, okay, cool.
Because you're
I
a
was
real
like, yeah.
creepy.
Anyway, so what are we eating? Trying to change the topic and shit.
Are you ready for to act in our second show?
You guys
Our
got to
second,
pitch me,
commercial,
bro.
bro?
What's up? What's the idea, dog?
Yeah.
I'm an idea man, bro. I need the idea first.
I mean, you
Now
started
we're
in the best one.
You're attached to the
The
project,
best,
bro.
the best was the smoke.
The ghost of
Oh,
you
dude,
guys
that
remember
shit was fun.
the smoke?
yeah.
We're gonna do a TBT.
Him disappearing was great.
He slammed me in the face, dude. Method.
Yes.
Oh,
That
yeah.
slap.
Oh, yeah.
I just
Like-
kept going with it.
Yeah,
It
you
was
did, dude. You
natural.
rolled with the punches, bro.
That was the slap of the year.
Yo, gonna get you out of here.
Robbie.
Yeah, dog.
Also,
I know
I
you
drank
gotta go
like
act
2 gallons
something.
of water. I gotta.
But yo, if you have any inspirational words for anyone out there trying to be a thespian,
And then all your socials.
and then plug your shit.
So where people can cancel
My
you.
socials are my socials are the Robby Ramos on Twitter and Instagram.
Robbie with a Y.
Robby with a Y. And bro, inspirational shit, nothing, dude. Do your own work, man. I keep saying that, but it's true. It's gonna open up doors. It's gonna put you out there. You're gonna face your fears. You're gonna be learning new skills. So yeah, do your own work. If you're an actor, start writing, bro. It helps.
Hey, real quick. Did you meet Dasha Polanco?
Nah,
Oh my gosh, she's so thick though.
nah, she wasn't in the scene with me, dude.
I just remember that.
And on that note,
We are out.
it's MIA Radio. We out.
Peace.